Our 17th and penultimate race of heat stay. We go to DD2 Masters. So let's have a look at the starting grid. Michael Becker, once again, for the third race in succession, starts in pole position ahead of Alessandro Glauser from Switzerland. Paul Louveau, who's had 2 wins this weekend so far, starts on the inside of row number 2. Bruno Dos Santos in 4th place in the 5:23. Christophe Capitan rounds out the top 5. Marco Winkler in the 5:66 starts in 6th position ahead of the pairing of Konrad Bayer and Daniel Yildiz, who round out the 8-strong grid. So it has been 2 for 2 so far this weekend for the current points leader, Paul Louveau. And after this, a fully charged E20 Project E20 will bring heat stay to its inevitable conclusion. And then later on, we will find out what the intermediate classification will be for the respective classes. As they go on to their formation lap here in Muelsen. So Michael Becker and Alessandro Glauser will be on the front row and they will control the pace. So the field makes its way out of the final corner. Into the tram lines we go. The revs start to increase. Are we ready? Lights are out. Let's go racing. And a good start from Michael Becker as he keeps the lead going into the first couple of corners on the first time of asking. But Paul Louveau again, like we saw in the first couple of races. There's been a spin around for Christophe Capitan. Oh, and that is Konrad Bayer off the circuit and hard into the barriers off of turn 3. Oh, Konrad Bayer has a massive drama there. Gets out of the kart. So his race has already been slowed before it's even gotten started. So the top 5 have started to break away, and Konrad Bayer was trying to be a bit audacious, looking like it was going around the outside in the early throws of the race, and Bayer just got caught with 2 wheels on the dirt, and it's pretty mucky there. And all of a sudden, as soon as you go onto there, it's straight away. Well, it literally just put the throttle down, just try and power out of it, and the kart snapped left. And there is the change for third position. It's the battle between Alessandro Glauser, Marco Winkler, and Bruno Dos Santos. Glauser is piggy in the middle. Well, not for much longer unless Marco Winkler is going to plant it round the outside. Glauser goes sideways, and he gets through. Great anticipation there by Marco Winkler as he gets through, but then Alessandro Glauser gets through as well. So Glauser gets through on Winkler, but Konrad Bayer is still circulating. He's got that kart back on the circuit, unassisted. And now will start pressing forward. He lost the best part of, what was it, probably about 30 seconds after what happened there, maybe even more. And he finds himself 21 seconds behind Daniel Yildiz who is currently in 7th position. We've got just under 8 minutes to go, plus an additional lap of this race. And Dos Santos closing in on Winkler, who finds himself down in 4th place at the moment. As Winkler trying to put the power down, and the back end starting to oblige, but trying to break traction to the left. A bit of a moment there for Bruno Dos Santos going through that chicane just after the left-hander at turn 4. But Paul Louvaux is not getting into the distance as we have seen earlier on in previous races. He just wants to make sure that he gets that kart home in one piece and have it ready and waiting to go into battle tomorrow for their first final. So now Louvaux has a lead of about 1.5 seconds at the end of this lap. He's doing exactly what he needs to do, does Louvaux. He's just keeping things out in front and trying to not look back at where everyone else is on the circuit, because that could cause a lapse of concentration that Louvaux will not necessarily want, and what he more than anything doesn't really need at the minute. And Michael Becker still keeping ahead for the moment of Alessandro Glauser, but the Swiss driver from FM Racing looking to close up the gap. And just the dying throes of this, well, just over 5¼ minutes of this race still remaining. There is an opportunity for Glauser to get past. It just depends on how quickly he decides to get past. So just over 4½ minutes to go, and the gap between Louvaux and Becker is now just over 2.4 seconds. Glauser has got past Becker. It was only inevitable that that was going to happen. However, there's always an opportunity for Michael Becker to strike back at the Swiss driver from FM Racing. Marco Winkler still rounds out the top 4. He's kept ahead of Bruno Dos Santos to the tune of just over 1.7 seconds. Christophe Capitain in the 5:02 rounds out the top 6. Daniel Yildiz is about 11.9 seconds adrift down in 7th, but Konrad Bayer has been racking up the laps and is closing in 1 minute 5.784 for the 580. But Winkler in his own right is trying to close in on Michael Becker in the latter throes of this race. And there is still an affordability for Winkler to also get past Michael Becker. As they come into the last 2 minutes and 45 seconds of this race, plus an additional lap. And Louveau is just pushing away into the distance. The track has evolved to the point where Marco Winkler is running in the 1 minute 3.5s. Then Christophe Capitan in his own right has just put in a 1 minute 3.344. And that was on the completion of lap number 7. We've got just over 2 minutes. Looks like there's an overtake happening here. And that is between Christophe Capitan and Bruno Dos Santos, both French. Both on different chassis as such. But the good thing is that they are keeping it nice and clean and tidy as they make their way around this 1,315-metre circuit in Muelsen. So Capitan puts himself up into P5. Fast running out of time here in DD2 Masters, but Paul Louveau looking to make it 3 from 3 at the moment. As Capitan gets very close to the wall there, coming out of the final corner. Through into 5th. Bruno Dos Santos rounds out the top 6. With Tanya Yildiz about to cross the line to complete another lap in 7th position ahead of Konrad Bayer. So, timer about to expire in a little while. Just over 40 seconds remaining on the clock, plus an additional lap. The lead now will extend, and extends to just over 4 seconds, as we are going to be now on the penultimate lap of this race. In 10 seconds, the timer will elapse. The next time around on the start of lap number 11, Paul Louveau will get the last lap board, which is something that he has definitely wanted to see. And there is the French driver himself, currently leading the points by 11 coming into this round. And he will be very, very happy indeed. Not getting pole position in qualifying. It hasn't deterred him, though, because he's won both initial heats, and he's on course to doing a clean sweep today. Out of the final corner he comes, and Paul Louveau gets the final lap board for DD2 Masters today, and he now has got the sign that he needs. And he just needs to bring it home, get the job done, and celebrate when he crosses the finish line in just around about 50 or so seconds time. So Glauser still in second, but the gap has extended to 4.75 seconds at the end of 10 laps of racing. It's just one more chicane, 2 more right-handers, and then that is it. It's in the bag for Paul Louveau from France. So out of the final corner, the 564, Paul Louveau wins the clean sweep here at Muelsen. All 3 race heat victories in the bag. Alessandro Glauser takes second, Michael Becker third, Marco Winkler fourth, Christophe Capitan takes 5th place, ahead of Bruno dos Santos by a considerable margin of about 3.6 seconds. Tanja Yildiz and Konrad Bayer will be around very, very shortly. But there we are. Paul Louveau does the treble here on heat stay, putting himself into prime position, pole position for tomorrow's pre-final here in Eastern Germany for the third and penultimate round of the 2021 season. So Louveau wins ahead of Glauser, Becker, Winkler, Capitan, Dos Santos. We're just waiting for Yildiz and Bayer, I think, who are about to cross the line very, very shortly. So there is Yildiz has come through and taken the checkered flag, with Konrad Bayer also doing so. But Paul Louveau does the clean sweep on heat stay in DD2 Masters in Muelsen.